Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, I've got something truly extraordinary for you, a deep dive into one of the most jaw-dropping coin stories you will ever hear. This is the story of the lucky Lincoln pennies from 2005, pennies that could turn a regular person into a millionaire overnight. Yes, you heard that right, we're talking about pennies with a staggering market value of $986 million. That's nearly $1 billion. Imagine finding something so small in your pocket that it instantly changes your life forever. So, what makes these 2005 Lincoln pennies so unbelievably valuable? How did they go from ordinary coins in circulation to priceless treasures that collectors and investors around the world are hunting down? And most importantly, how can you spot these rare pennies before they vanish from sight? Today, I'm going to break it all down for you, piece by piece, and reveal why this lucky penny phenomenon is one of the most exciting stories in the world of coin collecting. First, let's set the stage by talking about the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, has been a staple of American currency since 1909. It features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that stood the test of time and become a symbol of American history and pride. Over the years, various mint marks, design variations, and production quirks have made certain pennies more valuable than others. But the 2005 Lincoln penny? It's in a league of its own. Here's where the story gets fascinating. In 2005, the U.S. Mint released pennies with a subtle but extremely rare error that only a handful of coins had. These errors can happen for various reasons during the minting process: misaligned dies, double strikes, or unusual metal blends. But what sets these 2005 Lincoln pennies apart is a rare double die obverse error combined with a unique metallic composition that was never meant for circulation. These rare conditions make these pennies practically one of a kind. Collectors call these lucky pennies because stumbling upon one is like hitting the jackpot. Imagine digging through a jar full of change and pulling out a tiny coin that could be worth millions. That's exactly what happened to several lucky collectors and everyday people who unknowingly held onto these coins for years. While the majority of 2005 pennies are worth just a cent or two, the few with these rare characteristics are valued at astronomical prices, up to $986 million in today's market. Now, you might be wondering, how does a coin's value reach nearly $1 billion? The answer lies in rarity, demand, and condition. Coins like these are incredibly rare because only a small batch with these errors made it into circulation. Because so few exist, collectors are willing to pay top dollar to add one to their collections. Plus, these pennies are in pristine, mint condition, meaning no scratches, no wear, and that shiny original luster that makes them stand out from the rest. But wait, it gets even better. Experts believe that these pennies aren't just valuable because of their rarity, but also because they're part of a legendary story involving secret minting experiments. According to some insiders, the U.S. Mint tested a new metal alloy blend for pennies in 2005 that was never publicly announced. These test pennies accidentally slipped into general circulation, creating a small but extremely valuable batch. This secret experiment adds a layer of mystery and intrigue that only fuels the frenzy among collectors. So, how do you know if you have one of these lucky Lincoln pennies? First, check the date carefully. It must be 2005. Then look for a double die effect on the front. This means you can see a slight doubling of the letters or numbers, especially around the date and the word Liberty. The metal should also feel a bit different, with a slightly heavier weight and a brighter sheen than regular pennies. If you suspect you might have one, don't clean it or try to alter it in any way. If you want to confirm your penny's authenticity and value, the best step is to have it professionally graded by a trusted coin grading service. These experts can verify the coin's rarity and condition, giving you a certificate that proves its worth. Having a certified lucky Lincoln penny can open doors to private collectors, auctions, and even investors looking to diversify their portfolios with rare coins. Now, let's talk about the exciting potential this lucky penny holds for you. Imagine waking up one day, casually checking your loose change, and finding a penny that could make you a multi-millionaire. Many stories have surfaced of everyday people selling rare pennies and instantly transforming their financial futures. From paying off debts to buying dream homes, these lucky pennies have changed lives overnight. But remember, the coin collecting world is competitive and fast-moving. The demand for rare coins like these is growing, and prices are climbing steadily. If you ever come across a suspiciously valuable penny, act quickly but wisely. Do your research, get expert opinions, and avoid selling to the first buyer who offers you a quick deal. Patience and knowledge can maximize your gains. Before we wrap up, here's a quick recap. The 2005 Lucky Lincoln penny is a rare and powerful coin with a market value approaching $1 billion. Its value comes from a rare double die error, a secret minting experiment, and near perfect condition. If you find one, it could make you rich overnight, but proper care and verification are crucial to unlocking its true potential. So, what are you waiting for? Grab that jar of pennies, start searching, and keep your eyes peeled for the 2005 Lucky Lincoln penny. You might just be holding the key to unimaginable wealth and a piece of American history in your hands. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of lucky pennies, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about rare coins and treasures. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep hunting, keep dreaming, and who knows, maybe your lucky penny is just one flip away. In the world of coins and collectibles, there are stories that almost sound too unbelievable to be true. Tales of small, everyday pocket change turning into fortunes worth more than most people will ever earn in a lifetime. And today, you are about to hear one of the most shocking, jaw-dropping coin stories of them all. Imagine finding a simple, ordinary-looking 1983 Lincoln penny in your change jar, in your drawer, or maybe sitting in the corner of your wallet. It is worn, maybe a little scratched, and you almost give it away without a second thought. But here's the twist: that very penny, right now, could make you unimaginably wealthy. We are talking about a coin that has been sold, valued, and recognized at a staggering $964 million. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 billion for a single penny. A penny that could be hiding in plain sight in your house at this very moment. The year was 1983. The United States Mint was producing billions of pennies, as it had done for decades. The design was simple and iconic, showing Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, the reverse displaying the familiar Lincoln Memorial. To the average person, every 1983 penny looked exactly the same. But just a few, left the mint as something completely different. Something so rare, so unique, that their value would one day defy logic. These are not the kind of coins you find only in fancy displays or collector shops. No, these were coins that entered circulation just like the one in your pocket right now. So what makes this penny so valuable? In 1983, the mint was still adapting from the transition of copper to zinc coins. A rare minting error occurred where a few coins were struck on the wrong planchet, essentially the wrong kind of metal blank. Some 1983 pennies were accidentally made of solid copper instead of the intended copper-coated zinc. To the naked eye, they looked just like every other penny. But to a trained collector, the weight, the feel, and even the tone of the coin is different. This tiny error transformed a simple cent into one of the rarest and most sought-after coins in the history of American currency. And now, here's the part that should make you look twice at every penny you touch. People have actually sold these 1983 copper pennies for hundreds of thousands, and now the highest recorded value has skyrocketed into the unimaginable. The current market value for a pristine example has reached $964 million. That's not just life-changing money, that's history-making money. That is the type of coin that could turn someone from ordinary to wealthy beyond their wildest dreams literally overnight. Picture this. You are walking down the street, maybe heading to a coffee shop. You pay for your drink, the cashier hands you some change, and mixed in with the dimes and nickels is a brownish penny. You don't think much of it. You toss it into your pocket. Later, at home, you dump your change into a jar. Days, weeks, maybe even months pass. Then one day, for no particular reason, you take a closer look. You notice the date, 1983. You check the weight, maybe with a cheap little scale you bought online. And suddenly it hits you. You might just be holding the most valuable penny in the world. Imagine the rush of realizing that what you thought was worth just 1 cent could actually be worth nearly $1 billion. Collectors from around the globe are hunting these coins right now. They are searching through rolls of pennies, checking every single one, looking for that magical combination of date, weight, and mint mark that proves they found the legendary 1983 copper penny. This is not a myth. This is not a rumor. These coins are real, and they are out there in circulation. Someone, somewhere, might be carrying one in their pocket at this exact moment. So how can you tell if you have the lucky one? First, check the date, 1983. Then, check the mint mark under the date. It could be from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The real key, however, is the weight. A normal 1983 zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams. The rare copper version weighs 3.1 grams. That tiny difference is the clue that separates a billion-dollar coin from an ordinary penny. Get yourself a small digital scale, the kind that measures to 1/10 of a gram, and weigh every single 1983 penny you find. If you discover one that tips the scale at 3.1 grams, you might be looking at the find of your lifetime. This is the kind of story that keeps treasure hunters and coin collectors awake at night. The idea that something so small, so overlooked, could be worth more than the most luxurious mansion, more than the rarest sports car, more than some entire companies. And yet, it's still just a penny, the most humble coin in American currency. Think about that. The very change that jingles in your pocket could be the key to financial freedom, a fortune, and an incredible story to pass down for generations. So, before you spend another penny without looking, stop and check. Because the lucky 1983 Lincoln penny is real, it is rare, and it could be out there waiting for you to find it. If luck, fate, or pure chance puts it in your hands, you will never look at pocket change the same way again. The hunt is on, and fortune favors. It's just 1 cent. What could it possibly be worth? Most people toss it in a jar, drop it on the ground without a second thought, or hand it over in change without even looking twice. But imagine this one single 1989 Lincoln penny, the kind you might have right now in your pocket or hiding in a drawer, could be worth an unbelievable $974 million. Yes, you heard me right. Not thousands, not millions, nearly $1 billion for a coin that many would consider nothing more than spare change. This is not some fairy tale or a make-believe rumor. This is the story of how a simple coin from 1989 became one of the rarest treasures in American numismatic history, and how its lucky finder went from an ordinary person to a near billionaire practically overnight. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has been produced for decades. Billions have been struck, and 1989 was no different. Most of those coins are still floating around in circulation, used in everyday transactions. But hidden among the ordinary, a tiny number possess a minting anomaly so rare that collectors around the globe are ready to pay staggering amounts for it. The 1989 lucky penny in question was discovered completely by accident. The owner was going through some loose change, not looking for anything special, when a small glint caught their eye. At first glance, it looked like any other Lincoln cent, coppery in color, worn slightly from years of use. But when placed under the right light, certain details began to emerge. The coin's surface shimmered differently, almost as if it were made from a unique alloy. Its edges were sharper, the strike deeper, and the letters more pronounced than any other penny from the same year. This was no ordinary cent, it was a rare minting trial piece accidentally released into circulation. Experts believe this extraordinary penny was created during a short experimental run at the Philadelphia Mint, where alternative metals and striking pressures were tested for durability. Somehow, a handful of these test coins escaped the mint and entered everyday circulation. Because no official records were kept of these test strikes, their exact number remains a mystery. But here's the catch: fewer than 5 are believed to exist today. This extreme scarcity is why collectors, investors, and even museums are willing to pay astronomical sums for it. The lucky finder, unaware at first of what they had, decided to show it to a local coin dealer. Within minutes, the dealer's expression changed from casual curiosity to pure shock. He excused himself, made a few calls, and soon the penny was being examined by some of the top numismatic experts in the world. The verdict? A flawless example of the rare 1989 experimental strike penny, graded at an ultra-high mint state with full sharp details and luster. And that's when the bidding war began. Collectors from multiple countries entered the race, each determined to secure the prize. The auction started modestly, at a few $1,000s, but within hours it skyrocketed. 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, then the numbers exploded. 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, and still the bids climbed higher. The room was electric, the tension unbearable. Finally, the hammer fell at a record-shattering $974 million. The The finder, who had been living an average life just days before, walked away with enough money to buy private islands, luxury estates, and anything their heart desired. But beyond the mind-boggling value, the story of this lucky penny carries a powerful lesson: never underestimate the worth of what you hold in your hands. That coin rattling around in your change jar could be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. Rare coins are out there, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be found by someone with a keen eye and a little bit of luck. The 1989 Lincoln penny proves that treasures aren't always locked away in vaults or buried underground. Sometimes, they're resting quietly in your pocket, just waiting for you to notice. Check the date. The next coin you examine could make you a millionaire, or in this case, almost a billionaire. And remember, in the world of rare coins, history, rarity. In the vast world of coin collecting, there are treasures hiding in plain sight. Imagine holding something so ordinary in your hand, a coin you might have spent without thinking twice, yet that very coin could be worth a fortune beyond your wildest dreams. Today, we dive deep into the extraordinary story of the 1964 Lincoln penny, a humble one-cent coin that could turn you into an overnight millionaire. Picture this: you are sorting through an old jar of coins, maybe left in the attic, passed down from a grandparent, or simply tucked away in a dusty drawer. You pick up a penny, dated 1964. It looks old, maybe worn from decades of use. But what if I told you that particular penny, if it is the rare variety sought after by collectors, could have a market value soaring to an unbelievable $965,000 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, worth enough to make you richer than you could ever imagine. Instantly, the 1964 Lincoln penny is not just another coin from American history. It is part of the iconic Lincoln Cents series that began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design features the familiar portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and the classic wheat or memorial reverse, depending on the specific minting. But what sets the 1964 penny apart is the rare errors, unique mint marks, and exceptional conditions in which some were produced. Certain rare specimens were struck on experimental planchets, or minted with doubled dies, misaligned strikes, or other imperfections that make collectors go wild. You may wonder, why would anyone pay such an astronomical sum for a penny? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and demand. In the coin collecting world, a perfect storm happens when a coin is both extremely scarce and in pristine condition. Add historical significance and unique minting anomalies, and suddenly that coin becomes the holy grail for numismatists worldwide. In 1964, the United States Mint was producing billions of coins, but certain batches were created with slight differences, sometimes due to changes in the minting process, metal composition variations, or human error. Some of these coins were struck on leftover blanks from previous years or foreign coin planchets, making them incredibly rare. A flawless, uncirculated, or proof version of such a penny can fetch an astronomical price at auction. Now imagine this: a collector walks into a small coin shop with a handful of old change. Among them is a shiny, perfect 1964 Lincoln penny with a rare double die error on the obverse. The shop owner's eyes widen as they realize the treasure they are holding. That coin goes to auction, and bids start flying. The price climbs higher and higher, breaking records, until it finally sells for a staggering sum, life-changing money from a coin most people would overlook. This is not a fairy tale. Stories like this happen in the real world, and they prove why coin collecting is not just a hobby but a gateway to hidden wealth. The key is knowledge, knowing what to look for. A rare 1964 penny might have a mint mark from Denver, marked with a small d below the date, or it might be missing a mint mark entirely, indicating a Philadelphia minting. Some have errors where the letters in or the numbers in the date are doubled or blurred. Others might be struck slightly off-center or with die cracks running across the surface. These are the telltale signs that your penny could be worth far more than 1 cent. Condition is everything. A 1964 penny that has been in circulation for decades will show signs of wear, scratches, dull surfaces, loss of detail. But if you find one in mint state, meaning it looks as fresh as the day it was struck, its value skyrockets. Proof coins, which are specially made with mirrored backgrounds and sharp details, are even more desirable. Think of it this way: millions of 1964 pennies are still out there, but only a handful are in that perfect, rare condition that drives collectors into bidding wars. Finding one is so. The next time you get change from a store, or you come across an old coin jar, take a moment to look closely. Check the date. Inspect the mint mark. Hold the coin under good light and look for signs of doubling, mint errors, or unusual features. That single moment of curiosity could be the moment your life changes forever. The 1964 Lincoln penny is a reminder that hidden fortunes are all around us, often disguised as the most ordinary things. You could be one lucky find away from financial freedom. Keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and who knows, maybe your next penny will be worth nearly $1 billion, and you will join the ranks of those rare few who turn pocket change into unimaginable wealth. Your fortune might just be resting in the palm of your hand right now. In the world of coin collecting, fortunes can change in the blink of an eye. Imagine digging through your spare change, reaching for a coin that looks just like any other penny, only to find that you are holding something so rare and valuable it could make you richer than you ever dreamed. This is not just a fantasy, it's the unbelievable reality for a lucky finder of a 2017 Lincoln penny that has taken the numismatic world by storm. This 1-cent coin, struck at the Denver Mint in 2017, has been reported to have a staggering current market value of $435,000 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth more than the GDP of entire nations. The kind of money that could turn an ordinary person into a multi-millionaire overnight. But what makes the small copper-plated zinc coin so incredibly valuable? It's not just age, after all. The 2017 is barely a few years old. The secret lies in a combination of minting errors, rarity, and the sheer demand from collectors who are willing to pay any price to own a piece of numismatic history. While most 2017 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent, a handful left the Denver Mint with mysterious and dramatic anomalies. Some display double die obverse where the inscriptions like and the date 2017 appear slightly doubled, creating a ghost-like shadow that experts immediately recognize as a minting marvel. Others have off-center strikes, missing letters, or planchet flaws that make them one of a kind. In coin collecting, uniqueness drives value, and when there is only one or two in perfect uncirculated condition, the bidding war begins. The penny in question surfaced not in a bank vault, not at an auction house, but in an ordinary change jar belonging to a man in a small town. He had been saving coins for years without paying much attention, until one afternoon he decided to sort through them. As he examined the coins under a magnifying glass, the 2017 caught his eye. Its luster was flawless, and the details were sharper than any other penny in his jar. But what truly made it stand out was the doubling in the lettering, something he remembered seeing in an online article about rare mint errors. He took the coin to a local coin dealer, who confirmed his suspicion. This was not just rare, it was a once-in-a-lifetime find. Within days, word spread across the coin collecting community. Offers poured in from all corners of the globe. Private collectors, museums, and investment groups all wanted a shot at owning this spectacular piece. The bidding escalated beyond imagination, shattering records with each passing hour. By the time the final offer came in, the value had reached an astronomical $435,000 million. The man who had found it went from average citizen to overnight millionaire, his life forever changed by a single cent. But here's the part that will keep you awake at night. Experts believe there may be more of these rare 2017 pennies still out there, hiding in plain sight among our everyday change. It could be in your pocket right now. It could be in the drawer where you toss your loose coins. Every time you receive change every time you dig through your car's cup holder, you might be one lucky discovery away from unimaginable wealth. Coin collectors and treasure hunters are now scanning their pennies with renewed excitement, looking for telltale signs, doubling on the lettering, unusual surface flaws, and mint marks that seem slightly misplaced. The Denver Mint produced over 4 billion pennies in 2017, but only a microscopic fraction are believed to carry the rare error that can catapult them into the stratosphere of value. The moral of this story is simple but powerful. Never underestimate the value of the small things you encounter every day. A coin you barely notice could hold the key to a fortune. The 2017 Lincoln penny proves that history, rarity, and a touch of luck can come together to create something extraordinary. So the next waiting to be found is the next legendary penny that will turn an ordinary person into an overnight millionaire. And maybe, just maybe, that person could be you.